and we're just going to change it. We got our buddy Rodgar from the coldest and most remote part of Canada in the house today. And the last time we had you in here, Rodgar, we kind of had a little bit of distractions, and we weren't really able to get a solid story out of you. So, we'll go ahead and get your story today. Hey, it's a new day, a new time, a new place, same bat channel, and here we are on the Kong Family Show. And for all those who are tuning in, we are the Kong family, and we have this really simple goal. We just want to change the world. Some people might think that's kind of a crazy goal, maybe even a little lofty, but it's actually something that's happening. And Shawn, how is it that we're doing that again?
We like to do it one glass and 9.5 at a time.
Amen, brother. And one awesome individual and one lightning bolt in a box. Time. I love that. The lightning bolt in a box. That's what it is. It's literally like a lightning bolt hitting that water. And, so it's made a big difference in our lives. We're changing people's lives on a daily basis. And so today we've got Rodgar. How do you pronounce your last name, Rodgar?
Like you say it, Sawatzky.
Sawatzky. Mr. Sawatzky is in the house today, kids. Okay, we're going to get some good info from him. So, Rodgar.
I've never heard.
That name just
No, listen, hold on. I got to have fun with you a little bit here. So, Sawatzky, is that a Polish name? What's the name behind it?
I don't know. All what I know. It sounds like you have a poor connection. It doesn't come through right here, but all what I know from my background that my grandfather, he was 16 years old when he moved out from Canada to Paraguay, and that's where he grew up and had his family, and that's where my mom come from.
Wow.
And so there was a chance at one in a lifetime that they could give the citizen over to the grandkids, and that's what they did. But the restriction on it was I had to be here before I turned 28 and be working 1 year and pay my taxes to renew my citizen.
So did you manage to make that happen?
Yes.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. I came here when I was 26, I think.
26.
I had a wife in that time, and I lived here together, met her for 2 years. She decided to finish grade 12, so I made that happen. And then in the middle of that, she decided to take a different route, and she walked away.
No, that's her loss, buddy. That's her loss. Now you got a beautiful angel.
God bless her. God bless her.
Yeah, she's at work now, but but later on, I heard just a couple of months ago that my ex actually regretted that she ever left me, that she told somebody else that was the biggest mistake in life, what she did.
That's what I told you. Her loss, brother.
In my mind, give a woman a good chance, but she only has one. If she messed that up, that's it.
I love it. Yeah.
Wow. And here I erroneously, here he is. I erroneously subscribe to the giver as many chances as possible, no matter how much of a train wreck it was, because I figured at the end of the day, I'd be able to kind of be the guiding force, and holy cow. Let's just say you live and learn.
Well, for sure.
There's my brother Ivan. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
How you doing, my brother? How you doing? Can you hear me fine?
Yep, can hear you great. Can see your little soldier back there in the back.
Yeah, my baby girl, she's hanging around back there. We're a few minutes late.
Yeah, no worries. We just been hanging out here. Hi, sweetie.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. We've got Ivan in here and Dan. Good to see you, Dan. How's things up there in Seattle?
Good morning, brother. How you doing? I just let the dogs out, got some coffee going, you know. Had a couple of phone calls back east, and I'm ready to sit down. How you doing, Ivan?
Hey, Dan, what's up, brother?
How are you guys?
Who let the dogs out?
me and Ivan actually know each other from Facebook, but I don't think we've ever formally been introduced. So hello and good morning to you. I'm not exactly camera ready, but I thought I'd come on here and see if I could, get some tidbits.
Oh, you're always ready.
I think we did meet at the 2016 conventional. I was actually starting. I had said what's up to you, but not personally introduce ourselves the right way. But it was just like hi bye type of thing, on the run out. But I think you were on the 2016 convention, right?
Where was that at? No, 2016. I wasn't in. I was involved with an addict, but I was just drinking. I wasn't selling machines.
Selling. Okay. So all right. So it was and it wasn't the one that where we were at Green Ranch Valley. You ever go to that one?
I went to that last year. I didn't go to that. I went to that in 18 in October. So 7 months ago I was there.
Okay. Well, yeah, I always see you online, man, and I'm always like, I see the motivation. I see you're grinding it. Yeah, I love it.
I wake up and try and do it every day, but I love following your stuff. I always try and like and support everybody's stuff. So, we'll just all do this together and, cross the finish line together.
Yeah, this is the great thing about what we do. It's not about selling it. It's about the benefits that I mean, it is about selling, but don't get me wrong. It's more when you have the item and you're sharing and educating it. It's a great feeling of the outcome of the product. To share, and educate others. A great product that we have, and it becomes a part of you, which is sharing and educating others. Because when you got something so nice and so good, what are you gonna tell? You're gonna tell your buddy, "Hey, man, I got these nice pair of Jordans. I got this, this machine that it's incredibly, unbelievably doing things, and it is awesome."
And we got a lot of people to talk to, because there's a lot of people out there that need this product and don't know about it. People ask me sometimes, they go, "Man, but don't you ever get tired of talking about that water?" And I go, Nope.
Yeah, I don't get tired either. And at first,
I tell them, when you find out what this thing is, when you actually sit down and give me 15 minutes to show you what this is,
it'll be drop roll.
You won't be able to get your jaw off the ground. But second of all, you won't stop talking to people either. So, it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Sam Tran said. He said, you quit your job. You don't quit your life, and the Magic's motto is change your water, change your life. It's not change your water, change your job. And
right.
So when it's your life, you can't help but keep talking about it. That's just all there is to it. No, it's like, no, I ain't going to shut up about it. No way. That's not a possibility. But, Dan and Shawn and Rodgar, we've had Ivan on the show before. He was one of the first guests to actually be kind enough to grace the show. And back at that time frame, my knucklehead wasn't recording the shows and putting them up onto the YouTube channel. So I realized that Ivan was missing from the lineup up there. So I thought, I'm going to reach back out to Ivan and get that rascal back on the show, and let's hear his story again and get it recorded so that it can be shared for years and years and years and years to come. And so, with that, Ivan, I'd like you to, if you wouldn't mind, real quick, going through, how, when, and why did you get involved with the Magic, and were you a skeptic like some of us were?
Well, at first, hooty hoo! I love that from you, man. I definitely, and I thank you for having me again, and I appreciate that. I'm actually from New York City, but I've lived about 16 years in Providence, Rhode Island. And I've been a bus driver for 15 years now. And I'm basically retiring in 5 years. I'm only 38 years old. I started pretty young, but I always thought there was something else out there. And you know, you see these people driving these Lamborghinis and there's these nice cars. And I said, what's going on? What's going on? I kind of, it's got to be something out there. So I started searching, you know. Smart people, what they do is anything that's introduced to them, what they do, they research it. Because how do you know if it's any good to you if you don't do your due diligence? So
yeah, right. They search it on Google, right?
well, you can say that, but not all the time Google's going to give you the right answer. so you have to really do some deep research, not just falling upon what you see the first thing. And for me, it was a live webinar with Shanton and Omar Ramirez. GAC actually reached out to me on a webinar, and I linked up to them, and they were explaining, the lifestyle, the traveling and all the good stuff, but they weren't really detail of the product that they were really selling until it was face to face. Which at first, when I heard about all the information of Kangen, I was like, water? Get out of here. Water is just water. Water's not going to do that. Water's not going to do that. Everybody is, when you hear it. That's why I don't really barge at people that really don't know. All I tell is find the true meaning and find the reason why you're saying no. So that was my thing. I was like, well, if I'm saying no, I want to do a research. I want to make sure that what I'm gonna get, if I'm gonna get involved, to know what I'm talking about. You can never talk about something you don't know nothing about, correct? So when I decided I was gonna take leaps of faith and try it out, and I was 2 weeks in, I was sold. I had lost about 15 pounds. I was pre-diabetic. My glucose numbers were going down. As a bus driver, basically, you are kind of, you eat everything you see because you're on time. You don't have nowhere to go. And in reality, I bought a unit from a source that wasn't really the truth of which is eBay, actually. And I was making a mistake, but I wanted to try it out, So I did that, and in 2 weeks I was sold. I decided I was going to ship the item back because there was issues with it, and I went ahead and I was looking for a buyer, which was Omar Ramirez, and I chose for him to be my leader and my mentor. But again, when I tried this water in 2 weeks, I was sold. I wasn't even, well, as you were saying, I was so skeptical. My skepticism was so high up that I said, yeah, right, I'm not going to buy this stuff. I mean, it's $5,000, and yet now I own 5 units. I owned 2 Nespers, a few of those K8s back there, and it is amazing. I've donated a few machines to my family, to my sister, and they're loving it. And believe it or not, at first I was like, I'm being crazy putting all this money in, but sharing it with my own family, now that money has come back to my pocket because now they brought their friends and their families involved with this gift that I decided to donate, and it's made me to believe more. It really does change you when you really take something and you really try it. I've heard so many stories from friends and family. It's amazing. But the goal is more to when you could, there's a saying that you must give to receive. If yet you don't give, how do you expect to receive? And I was doing that in my heart, but I really wasn't expecting nothing to come back, and yet it did. And I keep using those phrases because it's powerful. Really, when you start learning the history, where these 5 places that naturally we have these occurring waters, and it's been there for years, and yet we don't know nothing about it. So it's not just about showing the product; it's about the history that it has with it. And and if we didn't travel to these places, how would we know? There's billions of people out there, and do they know the real history of about this product? It's where do you have a water that's covered by 750 clinical studies and over 6,500 doctors, naturopathic doctors. I mean, I haven't seen any water that has so much backup, and knowing that has it, and not even going through all of it yet, because that's the journey of this, by educating you. We're always learning every day. So I'm still going through all that stuff, and every time I read something, I'm so more convinced. So
right.
Is it I'm answering your question, Mr. JJ?
Yeah,
Surprise!
absolutely. I love hearing that. So you were pre-diabetic, and it helped you with that, and you lost weight. What kind of stuff happened for your family that you donated the machines to? What did
first of all, to me, I was in the borderline pre-diabetic, and I was going to start taking some metformin, and I said I have to, by looking and learning, I wanted to find a natural way to reverse that, and I had go to the gym, and I was eating a little bit healthier, but none of that is going to stop you if, first of all, since you're 75% water or 72.8% water, and yet you're not given the right hydration, or you're not given the liquid that your body, you could eat as healthy as you want, and you could exercise as much as you want, but your system it follows a pattern, and we first have to learn that. And I said, well, let me change, after learning or talking about people with this machine, I said, let me change it. Like, let's see if that could change that. And, dramatically changed. And within about 3 weeks, I say, the most. My glucose was from 310 to 125. And I do have some records somewhere around there. It's just, I keep switching my stuff out there, but my energy skyrocketed. I mean, and I wasn't waking up tiring. I wasn't worrying about. Yeah, I wasn't worried about like, oh my God, like could this be the water? So what I did was I stopped taking all my vitamins. I started taking all my minerals. I stopped taking. And I went ahead and did a little study within myself, because I know how I feel, and I know how. So I said, wow, 3 weeks drinking this water, the energy I had, and my wife was like, what's wrong with you? I say, I got the con in me.
Yeah, buddy.
So and what I was learning in between that when your body is hydrated, your brain is the first a muscle that actually absorbs most of the water, and then it starts producing melatonin. Then when you go through that same process of hydration and your brain produces melatonin, it produces serotonin, which is skyrockets your energy. And then within 3 to 4 months, basically your cells start renewing in your body. We have 37 trillion cells in our body. So it really doesn't change from day to night. It does take a time to actually, but when you start learning about how that circle going, it's amazing how really just a simple water can change most of you know, putting your nutrients where they need to go, absorbing the vitamins. Okay, say it. And actually detoxing, you know, getting rid of those things in our body that, called free radicals that take time to actually, you know, get out of our systems. But exercise is also a great environment. Why? Because, well, we as a human supposed to be absorbing 80% of oxygen, and yet we're only doing 28% of it. And as you know, the air is oxidizing. It's making us older. So if we're only consuming 28% of that, then we have to find something to ingest or consume or to replace that oxygen that we're deficiency in. Yeah. So what other better way than water? You know, you could do it with, and even our soil, the roses, you know, and water. I mean, it's liquid. It doesn't need. It goes right into it and it gets absorbed. Yeah. What other better way than that? So that's where exercise is a must nowadays, because we're not breathing enough oxygen that we need. But you know, water is a big part of that. And exercising and finding and detoxing all the foods that we eat. You know, most of us still eat hamburgers. Most of us still eat all these other things, but we use our water to clean and detox some of the chemicals that are affecting our body as well, like pesticides and preservatives. So we need those. We still need that water to even, you know, clear some of that stuff before we ingest in our system or consume it. And then finding a way to get rid of it when it's in the body. It's harder to do so before it's inside than once it's inside. Does it make sense?
Yes, absolutely. You know, not to mention the fact that the air that we're breathing most everywhere we go, even on a beautiful sunny day, there's all kinds of contaminants in the air that we're breathing. And so, yeah, it's definitely good to be able to flush all that stuff out of your system. Yeah. Real quick, Shawn, you got anything that you know, what Ivan said that has brought anything to your brain cell that you'd like to ask him or anything at this point?
Yeah, you bet. Hey, Yvonne, listen, I love what you're talking about, my friend. And I find it very interesting that as I've learned about Kangen water, I have really I grew up in Indian country. I grew up around Native American people, and, you know, there was just always the original traditional diet, and you just looked at the health, and yet you look at the modern state of Indian country today, diabetes is just through the roof. Weight, health problems, cancers, it's crazy. Yeah. And I think about one of my PowerPoints I put together. You know what? Can I share something just to illustrate this point, JJ?
Absolutely. Yeah.
This is exactly what it boils down to, and this is what we're fighting. This is what we're fighting. And I think at the end of the day, man, we've got so much to learn from not only Japan, but any indigenous or traditional culture that lived without preservatives, that lived without, you know, artificial sweeteners and all this stuff that we deal with. You know, I think that right there is one of the most telltale things about why Japan's #1 and why we're 52nd in the world in overall healthcare. So I think, you know, everything you're talking about, Yvonne, is perfect, because that's what we're battling. That's the challenge for us, is to get people out of the pill popping, you know, operation, cut it out, cut it off, put something about artificial joint back in, all that stuff, and helping people going back toward a direction of how we were when we were tribal, you know, I mean, simplifying things. And I look at this, and that just, everything you said to me resonated, and it just made me think of sharing that. So, you know, I think that's exactly what we're dealing with. And, I like your rhymes, man. I like what you're dropping, big fella. Now, listen, I know in Espanol they call you Ivan.
Yeah, so in Espanol is Ivan, and in English is Ivan.
I know. See, growing up around Indian people don't go from Robert to Bob. They don't go from Richard to Dick. They don't go from Thomas to Tommy. You know,
yeah, I've always had that.
You're Robert. You know, if you're Yvonne, you're Yvonne. You know, I don't want to Americanize your shit because I can't adjust my multicultural linguistic skills. So it's Yvonne Peralta. Yeah. Come on down. You are the next contestant on the Com Family.
Leave it to me to butcher your name, baby. I'll do it.
I never understood why would anybody call Robert Bob. I think it was Rob, not Bob. But yeah, you know, it's the way nowadays. I guess it's been whoever introduced it did a great job because we all know Robert is Bob.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Not only does JJ butcher names, but he throws Italian accents on names that, you know, Sawatzky. I was like, hold on a second. Is this Giovanni Tortorella? You know?
Yeah, it is funny.
No, but back to the cause. I just, you know, I saw that. I listened to you. It brought that to mind. And I think at the end of the day, that's what we're battling. That's our biggest hurdle, is getting people out of the indoctrination that the system's going to wipe our ass for us. You know, we want healthcare. We want healthcare, but we won't take control of our own health.
Right.
So we want to eat, live, be, do whatever we want to our bodies. And then we expect the healthcare system to get us out of it. It's just backwards.
Yeah. Right. No, I use a way to make people understand it better. So if I was working out, right, and I have a good friend of mine that's always hitting the gym with me, but yeah, he's like 400 pounds, and he's here trying to educate me on how to exercise or be built. And I have a particular person in the gym that's saying, well, hey, you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to do it this way. Who do you think we're going to listen to? You're going to listen to the person that's big and bold. Why? Because he's big and bold. And if you're heading towards that direction, yet you need to follow that direction, not listen to your buddy, even though he's your buddy and all. But the deal is that the Japanese are the number one in health and the one in longevity. America falls in 43 now. It was 38, now it's 43. There's other 42 countries that are better health than we are. So that means that if the Japanese are the longest living people and the healthiest people on the planet, it really doesn't take about racism, color, or ethic. But if that understanding that they're the number one, who should we be listening to? So I apply that because most people, I'm Latino and I'm this and I'm that, but you're forgetting the real factor of what we're looking for to stay healthy, to stay, persistent and listen, because for us to learn, we need to listen. We can't just always talk, because I don't know it all. I tell you that for sure, but I do share and I do educate what I know, and I try to implement in people's lives in their ways, and if the Japanese are the number one in planet and the health, and believe it or not, the Japanese don't have much but cars. The Chinese, they do everything. They're the mobsters of the game, but the Japs are really rare things, and what they are good at, they're the number one. Think about it. So it's pretty just simple. Once you really realize those things, it kind of makes sense of that culture and to follow and to implement in our lives, and be and rejoice it within our own terms and our own environment, that's what we do. To share, educate others. I mean, at the end of the day, we get a nice reward, which is awesome, great. But yeah, it is awesome to be able to to share that and show to other people. Now with this technology that we have with computer and FaceTime and Zoom and all this, it's why not? It just takes a few minutes of your time and just share the love in the environment. I'm always giving free water. In our business, they say, 21 days is it, but really, I mean, you just you put a line there for them to just get involved. But at the end of the day, you just want them to be able to understand what you have and move forward with it. And reality is just, some people need more time. But again, it's just I'm blessed to be part of this. Thank you, JJ, for having me. I mean, it's and really and for having you guys to also give your opinions about the Indians. I mean, I have about 29% of Indian in my family. Most Spanish came from half of it was Europe and half of it was Indian. So it kind of brings all those natures where when you were sick and we used to go to plants, we put garlic, we put honey, and we used to give you, alkaline medicine, until now the Western medicine, which is all chemical and acidic, has changed all those ways. We didn't have no doctors back in those Indians' time, right? And they how they cured themselves, plants and herbs. God has made this planet perfect for us. Yeah. We just find a big way to get it complicated so we can make a profit off of it. But this planet there's all the nutrients, it's in our plants, and basically we just got to extract it and put it in play. If we don't put it in play, if there's no action, there's no change. So we have to put action into it and make it work, because nothing changes if you don't put no action. That's for sure.
Yeah, amen. So Ivan, I've still got another. I'd like to hear the stories if you don't mind. Because my big thing with this company is the stories. Because like I tell everybody every day, it wasn't the facts and figures. It wasn't all the these guys are healthy, those guys are not healthy. These guys did that, and the other. Ultimately for me, what it was a story of an incredible individual, an incredible angel, Brittany Dykes, who she literally changed my life with just putting out her story, talking about what happened to her with this water. And so my goal being in here is to share these stories, because I really think when it comes right down to it, that's the part that's going to resonate the most with people, is when they've had that same issue, and all of a sudden here they're listening about somebody who had the same issue they had, and they managed to solve that issue. And so I think it's incredible that you donated 4 machines or 5 machines to your family. And I'd really be curious to know what kind of stories came out of that. Because you said they started drinking the water, and then they started selling machines to friends and all that, right? So what happened? Why did they decide to start selling machines to people and start helping you build your business?
Well, that's the thing, JJ. They didn't. First of all, they didn't see the great product. They didn't see the what could do for them. But for me, because they changed me, how I came, asthmatic since I was 8 years old, using all type of pumps, and in weeks and months just drinking the water, not using a pump. That's like amazing, because I've been to so many doctors and they never said, "Oh, drink Kangen water. It's gonna, it's gonna help this." But also the pre-diabetic thing. I lost 80 pounds, man. I even have a picture. I don't know if you've seen it, but JJ, I put it on social media several times. I went from 240 pounds to 170 pounds. And I was drinking almost 2 gallons a day. You know, I stopped drinking soda. I stopped using bread. I stopped drinking milk. I stopped eating cheese. You know, I did some of those things that, if you start learning, are becoming very acidic to the body, producing different types of change into your body. You know, if you look at how milk is done, you know, they get them pregnant, and then they, you know, and they're pushing all this milk out of there with a whole bunch of hormones and God knows what else, you know. But so when I started giving these machines to my family, and they started seeing that, they still didn't know what it did or the value of it, even though I tried to explain to them. But, you know, sometimes it goes in one ear and comes right up in the other. But everybody, they were sharing the water too. We're seeing this, you know, that there was something special, and they wanted to know. So my friends and my sister, what they did is they send them on to me, and I was like, listen, you're missing a big part of this water, man. You know, the best thing is, the harder part is to find somebody to convince them. Once you got that done packed, forget about it. It's history from there, you know. But they just didn't want to deal with it. I said, oh well, we'll bring them alongside, and I'll get this done, you know. And the stories I heard, you know, I have a lady that's a Colombian lady that suffers from ulcer. She's never needed to you know, any medicine of her own. And also my grandma, she suffered from acid reflux, you know, done. And they still don't believe it, that Kangen water did it, but I know for sure it did, you know. But they keep drinking that water. They keep drinking that water. It says, Ivan, I don't know about you, but you got the best water. And so, well, let me tell you, I don't have it. And, you know, thank you for a Shiro that he, you know, make this happen for all of us. And you know, I give the thanks to them, and they ask questions and I answer. But most of the time is what you looking for. What are you looking? What's the information you want? Because it's out there, and we could, you know, within times we could actually show you and educate you. But I went from, you know, being 3 months in and selling about 27 machines, you know, just because of those ways. And but all those other people that I have in my lineage, I do teach them to have a trifecta going, because if you're drinking the water and you're taking a shower with chlorine water, you're drinking about 2 liters of bad water. And yet, if you're not taking the Ucon, well, you know, you could be consuming blind nutrition, you know, where you're taking vitamin C, but your body needs vitamin D. What do you know? You know, until you don't do a DNA and find out what's the issue, you know, you're taking blind nutrition. But with the Ucon, it balances you up, giving you all the oils, the flaxseed oils, you know, the vitamins and everything else. But it's anti-inflammatory. It is the most powerful anti-inflammatory in your body. So it's brainless not to be taking that and showering with your system. So that's why eMagic is so perfect for every person, because their product is unique. It is, you don't see them, they have thousands of products like a store does or anything. They have really selected products, and most of them do the same thing. And it's just taking advantage of it and applying it to yourself. But yeah,
absolutely. So you know, I know you've answered this question along, you know, when you were in here in the beginning, but I can't remember what your answer was now, and it didn't get recorded, so I can't go back and look at it. I want to know what your answer to this question is, because this is always one of my favorite questions, because I always get different answers from everybody, and it's all about, what do you got one thing, you know, you have one opportunity to say something to somebody to you know, get them over the fence, to get them into their flight suit and off the cliff with you. What is that one thing, that one most important thing that you would say to a person about this water, about this company?
Well, I tell you one thing, you must jump. If you don't jump, you won't know. You hit 90 years old. I went to a 90-year-old, an old elderly center, and I asked a few of them, you know, that they were 90. One was 92, another one was 90. And I've asked them, and they all in some way answered. They wish they would have tried something, and they didn't. So now they don't know, and now they wish, but now it's too late. So, what does it take you to try it? I mean, don't we all learn from experience? Don't we all first fall, and then we actually know afterwards to not go that route? So, and that being said, is try it. Just try it. And if it doesn't work, I mean, it's just going to give you an awesome experience that most of us experience. And I bet you, and I guarantee you, you're going to love it, you're going to share it, and you're going to educate millions of people out there. So, and that being said, you need to try it. Because if you don't try it, well, that's a big question there that's hanging on, and it's going to be in the rest of your life trying to figure that out. So jump at it and check it out, try it, and I guarantee you'll be one of us, being as funny and hilarious and ugly and but yeah, that's what it's all about, right? You know, enjoying the moment and be part of something that really changing millions. I mean, the company in one of their videos says in 2 years they made over 10,000 millionaires. That's amazing. Like, I've seen companies, they've done 1 or 2, but 10,000, that's something to hold on to, you know, and say, wow. And you know, just by changing somebody's health perspective, you know, not being a doctor, not being a specialist, just being you, of a nice, great idea, and sharing it and try it, you know, and it's free. It's free. You go anywhere in Adject or in company or anybody involved, and they will give you 2 bags of. You go to the store right now, you buy a 20 ounces, it's gonna cost you $2 or $1.79 or $1.49. Ours, you get a gallon for free. Now, as many as you want.
Exactly, buddy. You know, and I mean, Shawn's got a great story about what happened to him when he, you know, tell him, Shawn, what happened to you when you first started drinking Kangen water? What was your gig?
I mean,
it's for free. He said it's for free.
Right. No, this cat comes to my house. This brother watched me play ball in college. I hadn't seen his door-to-door peddling ass in 15 years because he sold Kirby's and he sold Eden Pure heaters. And, you know, he shows up and knocks, and I'm like, whoa, hey, how you doing? He's like, have I got something for you? I look at him. I'm like, Gary, it's Shawn. He says, yeah, I know. I'm like, then you're pitching me from the porch like some kind of, you know, encyclopedia salesman? I ain't having it. So I drank it for a few days, and yeah, man, I mean, it was crazy. Let's just say I eliminated some massive stuff from inside of me beyond that which I was ready for. But nobody could tell me I was full of shit ever since I started drinking the water. So, you know, I've got that going for me. But
not to mention he was only 5'4" when he started drinking it.
Right.
So I tell you, most of my friends, I think that's where I became a little bit successful with this business, because I never sold anything to any of my family or my friends. And yet when I came to sell a machine, you know, I didn't have much to say, because they knew me from how I was. And out of nowhere, now I'm selling this machine, you know, this life-changing. They went all in, you know, because I never came saying, hey, you know, I got this iPhone for sale for you, you know, or, you know, the first time after so many years knowing, hey, I have something very important to show you, and I want your opinion about this. And when I did the demo, you know, their jaw was so down, I had to find screws to fix it for them and put it right back to place. So it does has a great stuff. I mean, it's amazing. Sometimes I don't even know how to say it. You know, speechless sometimes. That's how
it is a blessing, this company, that's for sure. And hey, Dan, you know, you've been listening in from the background there. You got anything that has anything spurned something in your brain cell that you'd like to ask Ivan about, or anything that?
Well, you know, I mean, you know, I always just get fascinated because, I mean, like I said, I mean, what's cool about your platform too is it connects a lot of us that already kind of somewhat know each other through other platforms, you know, and I've been following his story, and, you know, I've seen pictures, and, you know, and if I didn't have the water in my life and I didn't know others that had gone through similar experiences, you know, if I was just somebody watching this for the first time, I probably wouldn't believe it. But, you know, I've seen dramatic weight loss. I've seen, you know, the things that he's talking about. And it's, you know, and it never ceases to amaze me, all of the different things we hear and the stories that are told. And I guess that I take a lot of satisfaction in the fact that we're just starting, right? I mean, I was doing some really cool research the other day on Google Scholar, just typing in, you know, electrolyte reduced water / diabetes, and the things that are starting to come up are just unbelievable. And although I think we're 2, 3, 4, 5 years away from this being mainstream, you know, having the medical to actually, you know, I mean, to where it's socially accepted. You know, there's a difference between being able to put something in front of somebody's face and having them hear about it from their neighbor. For some reason, their neighbor has, you know, third-party validation is a big part of what we do. And, you know, and like I said, even though we're a few years away from this being socially accepted, you know, we really are getting some stuff that can back what we're saying. And I just think Enagic is just headed in an amazing direction. And you had mentioned Sam at the top of this, and me and Sam are actually going out tonight. We're going to have a nice little steak dinner and talk about some different things. But, you know, it's just an exciting time, man, when you get like my passion and Sam's science and, you know, and just the things that we're able to bring and the people that we're bringing into this program. It's just, it's an amazing time to be in Enagic. And the coolest thing about it is, even if you bring somebody in tomorrow, they're early too. They're an early adapter too. I mean, we are, you know, we're so early. And I look at somebody like Shawn, who, man, 8, 9 years ago, man, if somebody had tried to talk to me about water 10 years ago, I don't even know what I would have said to them. I don't think they would have made it off my porch.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It's that we speak to 1,000 people and 99.99 doesn't know about it. They're like, water?
Well, look, and even I, as a college athlete, you know, we're supposed to hydrate. What was I doing in the early 90s, late 80s, man? I was digging into the Gatorade, and I was, you know, all that nonsense. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I didn't even like to drink water where I was because I lived up where water was god-awful, and it had more chlorine in it than a swimming pool. So you'd have to drink it cold, because the colder it was, the less it was, you know, gross tasting. Now I drink the water almost room temperature. I don't ever keep it in the fridge. I go right from the Kangen spring on my sink to my bottle. And, you know, I don't care. I'd rather drink it room temperature because it just allows you to guzzle it more.
Yes, it does. So, Rodgar, you're hanging down there. You've been just kind of hanging in the background, listening in. You got anything that you'd like to mention to Ivan, or any questions that?
Well, first of all, before he starts, I'm expecting a delivery soon. So, are you bringing me that Ukon today?
Yeah, buddy.
Wouldn't that be funny as hell if he just switched screens and knocked on Yvonne's door? That would be a trick right there.
I was expecting you. Why does my Ukon take so long from Oh, it's the other side of the country. It's in California. I know. I'm in Rhode Island.
There it is. Love it.
Yeah, I had a question. You were talking about diabetes, and I'm driving every day with the driver that has diabetes.
Yes.
I'm driving with one right now just for a couple of days, but he already is on it for, I think, 19 years. He's doing insulin, like injection.
Yes. So
And
what I do is Ucon is anti-inflammatory, stops that. The problem with diabetics, what I've noticed with most of my colleagues and what I got them involved in Congo water is that you first have to stop those medicines. I know it's hard to believe, but those medicines are so powerful as inflammation and bowel syndrome and all this stuff that it stays, your body stays really unbalanced. So to start drinking the water and eating healthier, number one is also wait the longest in the morning to eat anything, because your body dissolves and gets rid of a lot of free radicals during the morning. So that's why what's that called? Fasting. It's important, because as a pre-diabetic, whatever you're eating, it's breaking down, and yet your glucose has to be balanced in. So I used to fast a lot. I used to I didn't drink no coffee. So the coffee is caffeine, and it has a bacteria. They drain your liquid. But if you think about it, you need your liquids in your body. So, so it doesn't really make sense. And it's basically hitting that red set button and starting addressing those things. And believe it or not, your glucose will actually balance so faster than taking all those medications. Yeah. So, I don't know if that
you have to be careful when it comes to that kind of thing, just because of the powers that be that are out there.
Right.
Got to be
But
super
it's true.
And
It's
JJ,
true. The body physiologically resets itself. I don't care if it's cancer. There's
Right.
too much evidence on it.
Right.
So we're just stepping out of the box, and we're just
Right.
talking about the body for a minute.
Right. Yeah.
Fasting in and of itself, there's so much studies on it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think it gets really ticky-tacky when it comes to stuff like that. And when all we're doing is talking about how the body is designed to function optimally, yeah, we might have something, an adjunct that facilitates it more than anything. But at the end of the day, we're having a conversation about how to be more critical in our thought, not just sheepish and buying this sheep's Kool-Aid, And so, yeah, I hear you, but amen, Yvonne, because that shit needs to be addressed. We need to get really real about what we're doing. And again, I'm not interested in awakening the masses. The masses have proven they're absolutely impervious to the truth.
Yeah.
I'm looking for truth seekers. I'm looking for people that want to think critically. I want people that want to take control of their lives and quit being victims in the system and quit crying around about healthcare when they're eating crap all the time and they're smoking 2 packs a day, yet they're the ones lobbying for free healthcare.
Exactly.
Hell, ask Rodgar. He's in Canada. That shit ain't free. They tax your ass off.
Yeah.
So we've got to get realistic about things. And at the end of the day, this conversation paints a real clear picture to anybody listening. It'll only offend those that are afraid of the truth. And I don't have time for those people. So I'm Mr. Sweetheart. I'm Mr. Warm and Fuzzy. I've been the shoulder everybody's come to. But I'm done with a lot of that. I'm done listening to people cry around about stuff they're unwilling to change themselves. It's like I tell people, and you'll love this. I can tell coaching and all these things. I've worked with kids and people. You guys will get a kick out of this. And I can tell you how to wipe your ass. I can tell you why to wipe your ass. I can tell you when to wipe your ass. I can even put what you need to wipe your ass with in your hand. But at that point, man, I'm heading for the door. I'm throwing you a book of matches and I'm turning the fan on. And I'm expecting you to come out, shirt tucked in, belt buckled up, and let's roll. That's it. If you get crap on your fingers, get your ass back in there and wash your damn hands. But we don't have time for this babysitting and dragging people across the finish line anymore. You can't beat a dead horse. And there's a lot of dead horses out there hoping that somebody strikes them with a lightning bolt of prosperity, and anybody in their right mind, for God's sakes, know that that doesn't happen. We can't sit around on our thumbs waiting for a God-blessed miracle. Sometimes he puts us in positions to see how we respond so we can be more receptive to a miracle, not just sitting around waiting for something and not taking any responsibility for ourselves.
JJ,
I'm a Christian. I'm a man of faith. And I don't sit there waiting for God to strike me with the lightning bolt of anything. I sit there and go, what can he give me? What has he given me today to gain any insight that I can gain that's going to make me better? And that's how I look at it. This conversation, this topic, this technology, we're flat out changing stuff for anybody and everybody out there. In seeing that little tiny one running around, Yvonne, to know that that kid is just growing up on Kangen, we are changing generational thought with this. So everything you're doing as a dad is telling your little one, hey, this is the direction we're going. That kid's going to be healthier than a horse. And, you look at that stuff. So,
they actually,
I know you disclaim that, JJ, and I know you have to, but, man, I'm the cat that I could give a flying flip at what the man says, because the man's responsible for the people being half stupid as we are.
Amen.
That's it. We believe commercials. We believe the news. Oh, my God, the news comes on, and it ain't nothing more than, theme music of, like, some movie that's drama's happening, and you got Greg Muir and David Muir, and you got all these guys out there just singing all the rhetoric of what's going on with the world and what's wrong.
Right.
We have something that is right for the world, and we are going to stand on any soapbox and any pedestal we can to increase the range of our ability to communicate with those that are open-minded enough to grow and accept the truth. The rest of them stay in the bleachers. We're on the floor doing the 5-man weave, scoring all the time. People in the bleachers can't say nothing to us because we're the one putting the rock up. We're the one putting in work. We're the one doing lines. We're the one running. We're the one shooting 500 shots a day. That's the bottom line with it. So I don't really listen to brother-in-law's, uncles, next door neighbors, sisters, dogs, hypnotherapist. I don't listen to that guy. I listen to the truth.
So I'm not a doctor or professional, but I've seen a lot of change in those people that they really want to change, and I've helped them in some ways. Because acidic is just going to make your body more acidic. When you're more alkaline, you put your body in, your body's going to react to those things. So it is a risky take. Some people are not willing to do it, but then those that are willing to do it, you're eventually going to see a change as long as, with Kangen water would make your body to get rid of all these acidic. So, and I'm not saying to do so, but if you really want to battle something in your body, the goal is to go towards the alkaline state. And, and putting these chemicals in our body we need to put our good bacteria at 80% and our bad bacteria at 50%. Once our bad bacteria is higher than our good bacteria, those how your acidosis, your body's, unbalanced. And that's, if you understand what I'm trying to explain, once you try to do that, it actually, the body does what it needs to do, cure itself.
Amen, brother. The thing is when I said that, I'm not, because quite frankly, I could care less about the government. What I'm more concerned about is a NAGIC. They get pissed off at us for doing that kind of thing. And so I just, we have to kind of walk on needles, unfortunately, right now. Right. And that's just the way it is. But
but at the same time, the NAGIC's letting people sell these things on eBay and Amazon. And so I don't know. Come get me. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't be hypocritical with what they're allowing us to say and what they're doing on the backside. I just don't buy it.
Yeah,
Dan,
Dan, what were you trying to interject, buddy?
well, and maybe I'm completely wrong, and Roger can let me know. But his situation seemed like he's around every day, and Roger, it seemed to me like was, how do I open that door rather than talking to somebody we've never met and putting it out there about diabetes. And it seems like he's riding in the truck with this person, and he's having difficulty introducing. And if that is the case, I want to show something that I use often. So whatever Roger's experience is what it is. Mine was cholesterol. That was the door that opened this up for me. So what I use is a thing of feel, felt, found. Hey, Roger, you know what? I understand you're a skeptic. Believe me, I know exactly where you're coming from. I was the exact same way when somebody approached us about my cholesterol. But I felt the exact same way, but here's what I found. And he shows him, I've had diabetics like that kept me at arm length. But then when I pulled up and just scrolled through, Kangen water and diabetes on YouTube, they go, huh. And then they listen to a couple of 2-minute testimonies, and I say, what the hell else do you have to lose? I mean, you're going to be on medication for the rest of your life. Why don't you give the water a shot? As opposed to being the guy that, is trying to shove something down somebody's throat. So, Eric Worre talks about it, but it's feel, felt, found. I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way, but here's what I found. And it's a good way to relate to people. It gets their defenses down, and it will allow them to at least be somewhat, even for a moment, open-minded to trying it a little bit more.
That's awesome. Awesome message right there.
I got a different question.
Fire away.
Go ahead, buddy.
I just talked to my uncle here. He lives around the corner here, and he has arthritis. And he just told me that he went for an X-ray, I think yesterday, and he said he had an infection in his knee, and they want to prescribe him like that medicine for it, and asked for side effects, and then they told him a bunch of side effects, and he decided not to take it. So I'm just wondering if that would be a good idea to bring him the Ukon and the water.
2.5 and Ukon, brother.
2.5?
2.5, 11.5. I take 11.5 3 times a day. I take it a whole 8 ounce in the morning, 8 ounce in the afternoon, and 8 ounce before I go to bed. I sleep like a baby. And why? It actually gets rid of the most of the oil that's the cholesterol, that's the bad cholesterol that's in your body.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good cholesterol, but it also gives you a clean start to take any any vitamins or any nutrients. I like Ukon. Ukon, it's an anti-inflammatory. It helps, with so many things with that terms. But I love the way that Dan explained the, with feel, found, and what was that, Dan?
It's actually let me am I unmuted here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's feel, felt, found. Hey Ivan, I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way. But someone showed me this, and here's what I found. So like I said, mine was cholesterol. If yours is diabetes, I might just print him out a little thing on electrolyzed reduced water and diabetes on Google Scholar. And, it says right there, it's very, very, very clear. And, the thing is if you point them to YouTube, and I point a lot of people to YouTube because people give a lot more credibility to that than I think.
Than anything else, it's true.
Yeah, but if you type in Kangen water and arthritis, there's going to be 25 people on there going, here's where I was at. I started drinking this water. Here's what's going on with me today. He doesn't have to take Roger's word for it. And the minute that we can take ourselves out of the equation and we're not being looked at as the convincer or this, that, and the other, hey, man, I share information. I'll share the water. I'm just trying to help. I'm just a messenger. But it's not my job to convince anybody or twist their arm. But exactly. I do know that I need subtle little keys to help unlock that door of open-mindedness sometimes to get them to try the water. Because I know if I can get them to try the water, I can get them.
So Roger, I would consist of what's your body weight on your uncle? how you know, what's his weight?
I would say 160 pounds.
The 160 pounds. So he should be drinking about 2 gallons of water a day.
Like
Forget
that.
Forget about
9.5?
Yeah, 9.5. Forget about drinking soda. Forget about drinking juices. Forget about drinking coffee. Try to get him to drink 2 gallons of water. Do con, and believe it or not, he's gonna feel something different with him. You know, because it's most of the time is that we're overweight, first of all, and we're not putting enough liquids in our body.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just with that being said, and not making nothing, no medical change or no, it's just put enough water in your body for that your body could do what it does, and eventually, you know, he says he has
arthritis, infection in his knees.
So you know, 75% of the water that's in your body, it's to lubricate your joints in your knees. Am I correct, Dan, or something like that? About 70% or something. So it could be that he has not enough water in his joints.
Probably.
So.
And what I would recommend, Rogers, if you have access to both, what I always do is I'll start somebody on the water. Like if you take them, I'd go get 2 gallons of distilled water at the store, pour it out, go get him 2 gallons of 9.5 and just take it and put it on his doorstep, man. Just here you go, drink this. But what I would do is I always wait about a week to start the Ukon because I don't want people to confuse where the help is coming from.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because the thing is, if I start giving you water and Ukon on day one, and I tell you the machine's $4,500 and the Ukon's, you know, $150 a month, you're going to go, well, give me that. No, you need to. So I scatter out the experience so that they know, okay, I was feeling better on the water, and then when I started taking this, it was the, you know, the holy grail, right? So you want to scatter that out a little bit. Don't do everything at once.
Yeah, but the water, man, it's done the miracles to my joints and to my. Sometimes I feel like, oh my God, like I'm 20 years old again. You know, like I'm close to him 40, but you know, it really, you got to bring that, have the body get enough water. That's what it is. But dance, the way dance gives it, man, I can't even say it better than what he's done. You know.
Oh, I will do that. I got the jog here, and I will fill it up and drop it off there.
And you know, another thing, Roger, is your buddy that you're driving with. Just make sure you have plenty of water. Give him some water to drink while you're driving with him. You know, to drink. See if you can get him to drink the water.
Yeah.
We all know that's really the key to all of it is just drink the water.
You're in the truck with him. You probably see him buying juices and soda and all type of stuff, right?
Gatorade, Monster, every day, man.
Monster. There you go. That's the name. That's a big problem right there. Monster. That's like
poison right there.
That's worse than soda.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's worse than soda. Tell them to stop drinking that, you know, and start drinking more water.
But anyways, guys, I have to run, so it was nice to meet you guys and to talk to you.
Bring like 2-3 gallons in your truck and have him drink it.
Yeah, we'll do. Thanks. Have a good day, guys.
Everybody, have a great day. Safe out there doing your deliveries. Karola.
Hasta luego, mi amigo gringo. Buenos dias.
I got to run too, fellas. Thanks, man.
Hey, Dan.
Love you guys. Thanks for
brother.
coming in.
All right, brother. Be good.
Bye-bye.
So, Ivan.
Yes.
I want to give everybody, you know, the last thing that we want to do here is I want people to be able to get in touch with you. So, you know, because we never know who's going to resonate with who, and the people that are listening into this, whoever they're going to be as time goes by, you know, they need to be able to get a hold of you so that they can hook up. What kind of contact information would you like to share out with people? You go ahead.
Ivan, can I ask you to say it in Spanish? Just
I would say it in Spanish.
Just to brighten JJ's day.
Yeah, me puede conseguir a hydrationkingdom.com.
Otro que habla español.
Sí, hablo español, hablo inglés y otros idiomas, pero me puede conseguir en hydrationkingdom.com o a mi Facebook Iván Peralta Jr. Y me podría llamar al 401-654-0022.
God bless you. God bless you.
JJ,
Hey, we're multicultural in this little Kong family. We come from all colors, creeds, races, cultures. We're all over the place.
yeah. Well,
And that's evidence right there.
I'm half Dominican and half Italian, so I got two crazy mix right there.
Okay, so Ivan's for the gringos out there. Why don't you go ahead and give it in English too?
Yeah, you can definitely find me at hydrationkingdom.com or at my Facebook page. It's Ivan Peralta Jr. And my phone number is 401-654-0022. And you could anytime text me, message me, and I'll reach out. And, again, it's a pleasure, JJ, for having me aboard. I will be glad to anytime you would want me on your show. And, again, any questions in Spanish, English, some Italian, and even Chinese, I know I could help you with that as well.
Hey, I want to give everybody a little heads up that does reach out to Ivan in the future, or tomorrow or today, whatever. Just do him a favor. If you're going to send him a friend request on Facebook, make sure to tell him why you sent him you hit that friend request, and then you hit the message button. And in that message button, you say, "Hey, Ivan, how you doing, buddy? I saw you on the Kong Family Show," and whatever. Just tell him why. Don't just send him a friend request. Tell him why you sent him a friend request. Introduce yourself, and tell him you'd love to hook up. And that he'd love to hook up with you, and he'll help you in any way, shape, or form that he can, because that's what we do here in the Kong family. That's how we're changing the world, is by helping people, one person at a time. And what was that again, Shawn? How
One glass of 9.5 or no pamafu at a time.
This is all I drink.
Gotta love it, kids. Gotta love it. Ivan, thank you so much for jumping in here with us today. We got this recorded. It's been recorded since the first second. And so we'll get this out onto the Kong Family YouTube channel. And I'll get you your copy of it. You can share it out at your heart's content. Everybody can share it. It's all public. Because we want to share this message. Ultimately, that's what it's all about. This is an incredible message that is going to help us accomplish our goal. We just want to change the world, and we're going to do it.
Exactly.
And that's what's happening. And so
we're doing it. Join the team.
Thank you so much for gracing us to come in here again and taking your precious time. I know you're busy. And Shawn, thank you for being here as usual, brother. You're always rocking the value. Karola, good to see you, honey, sweetheart. And, just love having you guys in here. And, look forward to tomorrow's show. At this point, I don't know who's coming in, but we're going to find somebody, or we're going to jump into Kong's lab or something. But either way, kids, we're here to provide value every day so that we can change the world. So God bless you all, and have yourselves an awesome day. And we'll see you on the next go-around. Thank you so much, you guys. Love you. And yes, don't forget your hugs.
What the heck?
Bye for now.
Bye.
Ivana Peralta.
Love it.